Alright guys, welcome back, and in this video what I want to do is I want to cover the rest of the basics about tables. So in the very first tutorial, maybe it was the second one, I keep forgetting, but I showed you guys how you can change the table style. In other words, the basic coloring for the table, and that is if you go up here, you can hover over each one that you like, and you can also drop down if you want some more options. But basically whenever you click one, and let me find a good one. And this is harder than I thought. Okay, this one right here. So whenever you click one, it actually sets your table to that style. Now you also have another option, and that is a theme. And a theme is kind of different than a style because a style is pretty much just the color of it. A theme is other things like font size and stuff like that. So if you go to the page layout tab, you're going to see this drop down right here that says themes. Now keep an eye on the table in the background whenever I hover over these. You can see that the actual font is changing, the font size. So that's the difference between the two. I actually kind of like this one, Ion. Alright, kind of a nice classy look. I might want to have to remember that one. So that is how you can change the overall look and feel of your table. Now if you hop back over to the table tools and designs, I'll show you guys some other really nifty options. And the first one is this header row checkbox. So I'm going to be showing you guys a couple things in here. The header row, of course, is the very first row. Some people like it, some people don't. Something that is pretty much appears on your table by default that I really don't like is this banded rows. So by default it is checked, and again that just means color every other row to look like bands, and I think unchecking it gives it a little more professional and cleaner look, so I typically am going to have mine unchecked. Maybe I'll have it checked if they're easier to see on the tutorials. No, I like it this way. Actually, you know what, for you guys, easier to see, whatever. And this last one, this filter button, of course, is the button that appears on the header. Now, it not only is just a filter button, that's just what they call it, but of course, as we already saw, it's the button that allows you to sort your data as well. So that was incredibly handy, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that one on. And of course, you have another slew of options right here, but you guys can figure out what they are. Those are the most common ones, and well, if you guys ever want to change it, that's where they are. Now, another thing that I probably should have pointed out, that's what I meant to say. Alright, is this. So these are your default table styles. But what if you're looking through these and you're like, okay, I want to have a table style that matches the exact color of my website and I'm not really finding it right here. Well, what you could do is you can hover down to this option, New Table Style, and this allows you to pretty much format a table style exactly how you want it. So you can say, okay, so the first column stripe, I'm going to format this to whatever font, border, fill, just like any other, editor that you used before. And what you also want to do is you want to make sure to give it a descriptive name, kind of like Bucky's Room website theme or black and gold or something like that, because I don't know, it's just easier to see whenever you're looking at all your styles. So if you ever want to create a custom one, there you go. So now that we have time to kind of move on to actually working with the table, well, this is kind of how I wanted to break up the tutorial. I wanted to show you guys how to style the table, make everything look pretty, and then kind of show you guys the options of everything. So now I want to show you guys how to actually move it around within your spreadsheet. So the first thing that a lot of people have problems with is how to select your entire table. Now, of course, we can do this. Let's scroll down and find, you know what? That's a pain in the butt already, because if it's huge, of course, I already am having a problem finding the end of that. So then they go up here. Now this button right here, this little arrow, it selects your entire spreadsheet. Not very handy if you want to just move this table around your spreadsheet. So if you ever want to select just the table, this is what you can do. You can go up and look at my mouse cursor right here. You see how it's the fat plus sign? If you move in the top left corner, you're going to see that it moves to a right down arrow. In other words, an east south or southeast arrow. So click that, and what this is going to do is it's going to select your table right like that. Now, whenever you have it selected, you can do a couple things with it. You can either just cut it and move it to anywhere else that you want, or what you can do is you can move it to a new spreadsheet. And I'll show you guys a really cool way that you can do that. So this little arrow button, whenever you click that, it's really only good if you want to format the data in your table. But as you guys can see, we have a little problem whenever we try to paste it. We're leaving all of this stuff behind, which you know, that's kind of important too. So how do we select that? Well, I'll show you guys a real cool way. Click any cell within your table and hit Control A, and that's going to select exactly what was selected before, and now hit Control A again. Now, as you can see, not only did it select the data within the table, but also the headers itself. So again, that was Control A, select it twice, or excuse me, hit Control A twice, and it's going to select your entire table. So now you can do something like, I don't know, just cut it, and let's say you wanted to do something like move it to a new spreadsheet. Boom, look at that. Now the one other thing that I want to point out is this. Let me just undo that and deselect it. What if, actually let me scroll out, it'll probably be a little bit easier. Alright, too much. Alright, there we go. So I want to show you guys a real quick way to move around your table, or not move around your table, just move your table without having to copy it or cut it. What you can do is you can actually take your mouse and you can move it until it gets to the border, any border actually, it doesn't matter if it's the left one or the top one, and look what happens. I go from the fat plus sign, I almost want to call it the Red Cross. It's like, it kind of looks like the Red Cross logo, but it's a white. So I'll call this the white cross from now on. That's my own version of the symbol. There actually probably is a name for it. If anyone knows, leave a comment below. But check this out. It goes from the white cross to the 4 directional arrows. Now what this means is move around. So whenever I get those 4 directional arrows, I can just go ahead, click and drag, and check it out. So again, white cross, move it to a border to get those 4 directional arrows, and move it around. Pretty stinking sweet. So those are a bunch of different ways that you can select the data within your table, select the entire table, or move the table by dragging and dropping really easily. So thank you guys for watching. Well, I'll see you guys next time.